Hello everyone. Welcome to Skills Build Training YouTube channel. Myself Muhammad Zubair, and this channel is all about showing you how to become an IT pro really fast. So the topic of today's video is what is REST API? So without any further ado, let's get started. API stands for Application Programming Interface. You might have heard a word API, or even you might have used it if you are a developer or if you somehow belong to software industry. APIs are used for getting the data from another source of the internet. For example, you want to fetch the data from Twitter for some analysis, or you want to fetch some data from the Facebook to analyze different people's trend on different things. So you will need an API to do this work of yours. It is a set of rules that allow programs to talk to each other. The developer creates the API on the server and allows the client to talk to it. Now let's talk about the REST API. To understand it in easiest and better way, let's take a scenario. Let's say you are trying to search for the videos about Spider-Man. So what you will do? Obviously, you will open YouTube and you will type Spider-Man in the search field, and as a result, you will get a lot of videos on Spider-Man. You can do the same on your browser or on your different video platforms. REST API also works in the similar way. When you search for something, in return, we get the list of results back from the service we have requested from. REST APIs are used for fetching the data for different applications, services, etc. And it is a concept which is for network-based software, and it is an architectural concept. REST defines that how the API looks like. It stands for Representational State Transfer. It is composed of set of rules that the developers follow when they create their customized API. One of these rules says that you should be able to get the data when you link to a specific URL. We also call it as a resource. And if we talk about the URL, we have four major things in a URL. First one is endpoint, then we have method, then we have headers, and the last one is data. If we talk about the endpoint is basically is the URL that you request for. For example, if you want data from the Facebook or Twitter or let's say GitHub, you will need the endpoint first of all. So the structure of the endpoint is something like this, which you can see on your screen. The root endpoint of GitHub's API is https api.github.com. Here you might have noticed that for the GitHub, we have github.com as the endpoint. Now, if we talk about the method is basically a type of request that we send to server, and we have 5 types of request in that. The first one is get, then we have post, then we have put, and the fourth one is patch, and the last one is delete. Often we use put and patch together. We will talk about it later. So if we talk about the get type of command, it is used for getting a resource from the server. In simple words, when we use get request, the server looks for the data that is requested and sends it back to us. And this is the default request used in method. Post is used for the creation of new resource on a server. When we perform the post request, the server makes a new entry in the database and informs us if the creation of that resource was successful or not. So we can say that as the get performs the read operation, post performs the create operation. Now I will discuss the put and patch requests together. These both are used for the updation, or you can say updating of a resource on the server. When we perform a put or patch request, the server updates an entry in the database and informs us if the update was successful or not. So in other words, these two requests performs the update operation. And now let's talk about the last type of request, which is delete. As the name suggests, this request is used for the deletion of the request from the server, and it informs us if the resource deletion was successful or not. So that was all about the method, and now let's move ahead with the headers. Header is used to provide the information to both client and server, and it is used for many purposes like for authentication and providing information about the content. For now, let's move on with the last part of a URL, which is data. Data, that is sometimes also called as body or the message, it contains the actual information or the data which you want to send to the server, and this only gets used with post, put, patch, and delete. If I say that data is the crux of any URL, then it wouldn't be wrong. So if I conclude the REST API, basically it is a set of rules that tells the application, devices, and services about how they can connect and communicate with each other. And REST API is the one which confirms the design principle of the REST. Now let's talk about some of the features of REST API. First one is architecture. It is server driven. If we talk about the operations, then it can perform create, read, update, and delete operations. If we talk about its organization, it's used for endpoints. In terms of stability, it is better for the complex queries. Sometimes we have to deal with difficult circumstances and we have to deal with complex queries. So in that sense, REST API is very good. If we talk about its community or its support, it has a very large and very mature community. In terms of its performance, if we have multiple network calls, it will take a little bit more time. And last but not the least is data fetching. Well, there is a problem with REST API, and that is sometimes it performs more and under fetching of data. Now let's talk about pros and cons of REST API. I will talk about the pros first. It has the mature developers and tooling. It uses the HTTP methods, and that makes implementation predictable for the client. REST supports XML, JSON, HTML, etc. And data can be cached in the REST API. If we talk about its cons, it can cause the overfetching of the data, as I have told you earlier, and we need multiple rounds to get all of the data. And lastly, it returns only one resource representation from a unique source. Now, a question comes into mind that when we should use REST API. Well, we should use REST APIs when we do not want to complicate the simple application, and we should use it when we want to determine what to expose and present to the client. So to conclude my topic, I would say that REST API has some of its pros and some of its cons, just like any other API. So it all depends on the type of project and the type of data you want to fetch. And with that, we got to the end of today's video. I hope now you have a better understanding of the REST API. And if that is the case, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon along with it. If you have something to ask, please leave a comment below. We will get back to you as soon as possible. Till the next video, take care.